Before we jump right into the video, Black Friday through Cyber Monday, everything on the Star Wars merch page is 16 to half off, 50%. So if you want to pick up any Star Wars merch for Christmas time for either yourself or your family, now is probably the time to do it. Now, on with the video. Yoda is by far the standout character currently in the Star Wars mythos, with his appearance at the end of the first Mandalorian episode shaking the fanbase. Baby Yoda is so intriguing and so important because we know next to nothing about Yoda's species currently in Star Wars canon, or in Star Wars Legends for that matter, and it's been well documented that Yoda is exceptionally close to the heart of George Lucas, and that ever since the events of The Empire Strikes Back when Yoda first appeared, it was never George Lucas's intention to demystify the character. He was the trainer and master that was meant to enter the story as a mystery and exit the story as a mystery. And throughout all of the decades of Star Wars, George Lucas has demanded that the mystery of Yoda remain just that. This is why for the fanbase, Baby Yoda appearing in The Mandalorian was so important, as he's actually only the third member of Yoda's species that we've ever seen in all of Star Wars canon. Of course, Yoda himself, Yaddle, and now the child. In an interview though, Dave Filoni talked about the future and implications of introducing Baby Yoda into Star Wars, and what it would mean for the future of Star Wars going forward concerning Yoda's species. He made some comments that are not spoilers, by the way, that I find really intriguing, and I wanted to share them with you guys. For those of you that don't know, Dave Filoni was the producer of Star Wars Rebels as well as Star Wars The Clone Wars, and actually directed the first episode of The Mandalorian. It was not initially Dave Filoni's idea to introduce Baby Yoda into The Mandalorian, but showrunner Jon Favreau's. However, according to Dave Filoni, after he heard of Jon Favreau's idea of introducing Baby Yoda in The Mandalorian, he wanted to be involved, for one very specific purpose. This was his full quote on Entertainment Tonight. One of the reasons that I really got interested in this story that Jon was pitching was the subject of the child. Knowing George Lucas and how important the character of Yoda is to him, I wanted to make sure that I could help shepherd this idea. We still want to keep a lot of things a mystery. We don't want to go around answering things and making them less special, but let's tell a story that's interesting and compelling and add to this great galaxy. So these comments by Dave Filoni actually do a lot to quell a lot of the worries of the fan base right now concerning Baby Yoda. Many fans completely agree with the idea of the creator, and they want to keep Yoda as mysterious as possible, just as his intention was. And with Baby Yoda being introduced, they were quite fearful in fact that his story would be revealed to all of us, therefore again demystifying the character of Yoda. However, Dave Filoni is very clear that that's not their intention. Their intention is in fact to add to a galaxy far away, but not to demystify the character at all, leading me to believe that we likely will not discover more about the homeworld or really a lot about the species of Yoda at all. But more importantly, The Mandalorian will likely explore why the child is so important to the Empire, not really exploring his origins in depth, which is in my opinion a very wise move, adding to a story that is currently being built up without explaining everything that came before it. Maybe one day in the future we can learn about the story of Yoda and his origin, but I hope that that day comes far down the line, as I actually agree with George Lucas in this case and love the mystery behind Yoda's species. Anyway guys, what are your thoughts on Dave Filoni's comment, and the fact that we likely will not get the full origin of Yoda's species in The Mandalorian, and Dave Filoni's promise and worries with The Mandalorian? Also, I want to hear your opinion on all of this. Would you like to hear the backstory of Yoda's species one day, or do you agree with Lucas and like that it's still a complete mystery, and that a character like Yoda enters and exits the story as such? Anyway, my friends, thank you guys as always so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.